And what's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on? And we're here for some breaking news today for Yes for the Mess. And let me tell you something, baby. Look, I was laying up in my bed. I was looking at the Braxtons, honey, because I thought I was going to do this Braxtons video tonight. But baby, I got me a couple of messages in my DMs, honey, and it was letting me know that Sean Diddy, Puff Daddy, Combs has been arrested by the FBI and is currently in federal custody. So you know what I said? I had to sit it down like this. I said, do we want to talk about Diddy being arrested or do we want to talk about the Braxtons? And I felt like don't nobody give a fuck about the Braxtons right now. They want to hear about this monster being arrested. So I said it's all in my due deals to get my up here, and we're gonna talk about Diddy being arrested. We're gonna go through it all, honey. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna talk about it. And to be honest, if I feel like it, I just might let a panel up if I feel like it, but I doubt it. But anyway, you guys, we are in this bitch right now. We got over 100 people up in here already. And if you guys are brand new to the platform, go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now, okay? Go ahead and subscribe. The Scotty Gang will treat you right, baby. Trust and believe me on that. So, excuse me. So, I have an article here from the New York Post, okay? I'm trying to get these pop-ups out the way so we can really get into it, y'all. Okay, by continuing terms and use. Okay, there we go. So, y'all, let me put this on the screen. So, here we go. So, Sean Diddy Combs is arrested in New York City amid sex trafficking investigation. That's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Diddy being arrested amid sex trafficking investigation right about now, okay? So let's get into it. Now let's get on into this article, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, battle rapper and hip-hop musician Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in New York City on Monday night amid a federal investigation in sex trafficking allegations, sources said. Now, Combs has faced a massive backlash after recent allegations surfaced that he abused his former girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie Ventura, in 2016. His Beverly Hills mansion was also raided by Homeland Security about 6 months ago, and it's unclear what the agents were looking for during the March raid, but it's believed to be a part of a sex trafficking investigation. Let's continue. It's unclear what charges the fallen star is facing, but the New York Times reported that the arrest follows a grand jury indictment. A source said that the hip-hop mogul has fully cooperated and voluntarily came to New York in anticipation of the charges. Okay? So that is what the New York Post is saying, y'all. The New York Post has said that he knew what was going on, basically, in so many words, and he surrendered himself, okay, to all these charges that's against him. And I just feel like at this particular point, I think he did that because he knew there was no way for him to get away with it. And on top of that, there's so many different stories coming out, so many more stories coming out and things like that. So it's like there was no way that he could get away from this story. There was no way he can get away from it. There was no way that he could sit up here and try to, run away from it. He was going to have to pay for it. It's the same way it was with the R. Kelly stuff. There was only so many times people could sit up here and accuse him of the shit and nothing is done to him about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so many times you could do that. And at this point, with everything that's coming out about Diddy, everything that has come out about Diddy, it was only a matter of time before it all caught up to him. And I felt like Diddy walked around here like he was so, invincible and nobody could do anything to him. He was walking around all out there on the beach with Stevie J and all this other stuff, like just walking around like everything was fine. But then it was just like, okay, he walked around on this beach. I know everybody feels like, oh, he still got a right to live his life. Yeah, he going through a case and all this other stuff, but he got a right to live his life. Yeah, of course he got a right to live his life, but he should act accordingly, though. Like, he walking around here with no care in the world because he really felt as though nobody was going to do shit to him. And that wasn't the case. You are not going to get away with all that stuff. Do you really believe that you can come out? Somebody can come out, put that up against you, and then all these other people come out and speak out against you, and you think that there's not going to be nobody that's going to look into these cases and see that you just might be a menace to damn society? Come on, Puff. Come on now. Did you really believe that you was going to get away with that? Absolutely not. There was no way you were going to get away with that. It was one thing that you did what you did to Cassie, and you know, there were some people that was on your side. Absolutely. There were some people that was on your side with this whole Cassie thing. There were some people that really felt like you really didn't do nothing. There were some people that felt like, you know, Cassie was just looking for a cash out. But at this point in time, if she was looking for a cash out, that's her prerogative. Because guess what? With all the pain you caused me, bitch, you gonna pay me for all that pain that you gave me every time you put a fist to my eye. Pay me for my pain. Pay me for every bruise you ever gave me. Pay me for every time you smacked me. Pay me for everything. Every time you forced me to be a part of some group's event that I didn't want to be a part of. Pay me for everything that I had to endure for all the years that I dealt with you. Pay me for all the time that you spent taking away all of my youth from me. Pay me for everything. So if she was looking for a payday, it serves her right. She should be, with all the bullshit that she went through. And like I said, it's one thing to give a person reasonable doubt on things. That's one thing. But I don't believe that everybody was just sitting up here lying on this man. Everybody wasn't lying on him. Everybody wasn't lying on him. Everybody was so quick to want to defend Diddy. It was the same shit like R. Kelly all over again. You know how some people was just running and waiting to coddle him and defend him and just say that everything was going to be okay, and there's these people trying to bring a black man down and all this other stuff, not thinking about the abuse and the things that he put the black women through, or not even just black women, but women in general, the things that he put them through. No one cares about the victims. They only care about the person that's doing the victimizing, and that's really crazy and pathetic to me. Always, every time there's a man accused of doing shit to a woman, it's always the people that's in the back yelling like groupies, always defending these men all the time. It's always them defending these men all the time. Always. And guess what? A lot of the times it be women defending these men. Little do you know. Because I promise you, I believe every word Cassie said. I believe every word that other producer said. I believe every word that Aubrey has said about him, because she been speaking on him for years. She been that's one thing we can say. Aubrey ain't never bit her tongue now one damn time, because that girl has always spoken up against Diddy. Even when she was on Making a Band, she never wavered. Her opinions were always what they was. She always spoke up to that man every single time. That's one thing that I can say about her. She definitely did. And my thing about it is, at the end of the day, I believe every word that she said. I believe every word that she said. I believe every word that Dawn said. I believe everything. And I believe that Diddy been a damn snake. I believe that he been somebody that's abused his power a long time ago. If you ever looked at Making a Band and just saw the way that he treated those folks on that show, making them walk all the way to Brooklyn to get a damn cheesecake, and then when they came back, he was gone. The way he was talking to them girls in Daddy Came, the way he was talking to them guys in Day 26, I really feel like when Q has spiraled out of control in Day 26, I really feel like it's because of the things that Diddy was doing to him. I know we don't know if that to be true or not, but that's just what I believe. I'm just telling y'all. That's what Scotty believes. I ain't saying it was in the Bible. I ain't saying it was 100% certain. I ain't saying it's in the law books. I'm saying that Scotty by Nature TV believed that he did something to that boy to make him spiral out of control like that. The same thing he did with Freddie P, who was in the band. I remember looking at an interview from him over a year ago, long before these charges when Cassie had first came out, before that even came about, okay, I was looking at some old interview that Freddie P, who was a part of the first band that he made on Making the Band, I was listening to that interview, and the shit that he was saying, it sounded like Diddy did something inappropriate to him or attempted to. It's to the point where he didn't even want to talk about it. Something is wrong and something happened, and you are not going to tell me that nothing happened in those situations. You're not going to tell me. And I feel like when it's one thing when it's one person saying it, but when you got a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth person saying it, okay, the truth is somewhere in these stories. Somebody might be lying, but most of these folks ain't lying. They telling the damn truth. And that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Most of these people are telling the damn truth at this point. I never felt like Cassie was lying. I never felt like she needed to shut the fuck up. I never felt any of those ways. I always felt like she told the damn truth. As a matter of fact, they need to talk to every single person that was on Bad Boy and ask them what experiences did they ever have with Diddy. Because I feel like he treated everybody poorly. And I'm glad Ebony M said this. She's one of my moderators. Thank you for that. I really, really hope that Dawn and everybody else that's been speaking out about this stuff, I hope they are safe and sound. I hope don't nobody do nothing to them. Because you already know how it is with stuff like this. You know, people come out and speak, and then all of a sudden they got, you know, stuff going on where they can get people, you know, disappeared and all this other stuff. I just hope that don't nothing happen to them. That's the only thing that I'm saying. But, you know, Diddy is full of it. He's full of it. He been getting away with stuff for far too long. And like I said before, I've been believing a lot of the stuff that was said about him. I've been believing it. Where's Farnsworth at? Why he ain't said nothing? I feel like he did something to him too. If you ask me, I feel like he did something to him too. I feel like he made him uncomfortable too. I've always felt that way. Always. That's all I'm saying. You always be already. Well, thank you. I'm just saying. But you know what? I want to hear what some of y'all got to say. How about that? I want to hear what some of y'all got to say about it. So I'm going to drop a link. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to drop this link, and I want to know what the people got to say about this. We're going to make this an open panel right about now. Okay, that's what we're going to do. The link is in the chat. If anybody got anything to say, please come and click that link right now so we can discuss it. We ain't going to be up here all night. I promise you we're not. I don't intend on being on here long. Let me see. He probably paid Fun Umbrella Man off, child. He been roaming NYC streets quietly since last year. Farnsworth alluded to something bigger last year. Okay, I see one person back here. All right. Hold on here. Let me see. Oh, I see two people back here. Okay, let me let y'all look. Okay, let's talk.
Good evening, everyone. Did everyone remember to hit the like button for this emergency breaking news live? Please, please, please take the time to hit that thumbs up. We so appreciate your presence tonight.
Absolutely.
This is long overdue.
Hello, Scotty. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I just want to say first, congratulations, Scotty, on your move.
Thank you.
Like, I'm real proud of you. I feel like we cousins because I'm from Memphis. You like right there, Mississippi. So it's good to see your glow up
Thank
because
you.
me and you the same age. So it's like I know early YouTube and like you was one of the ones that, kind of started this. So it's real good to see your come up, first of all. I just want to
Thank
say that.
you. Thank you. Who want to start?
It's long overdue. It's long overdue, and so it
Amen.
begins. And so it begins. I've said for years that man moves and behaves and acts like an abuser. I don't know if you guys remember his song with Keisha Cole
Mm-hmm.
last night. Y'all know the one. Most people have only ever heard the version for radio or for the music video. Very few people have actually heard the album version, the like 6 minute version, where at
Mm-hmm.
the end he has this interlude where he's threatening. Y'all know that song's about Kim Porter,
Oh, I
but
know
he's
exactly what
threatening
you're
Kim
talking about.
Porter. That
Mm-hmm.
man's been hiding plain in our face this whole time. He's always given abusive tendencies, so nothing is shocking to me. The only thing that
Mhm.
surprised me out of all of this is that Don finally gave him up. I never saw that coming.
Mm-hmm. That was
Never saw
shocking.
that one coming.
Well, I kind of always thought that it was something between him and Don because, like, you remember, like, I think, like, the very last making of the band when he fired Danny Kane and he wanted to keep Don, it was kind of like, and then she just kind of, I don't know, she just kind of had like a real reaction to it. Like, she already knew that she was going to get killed. So it kind of made me feel like he was in her ear from the beginning, like before he was going to break the group up. And then I felt like with Aubrey, I felt like he wanted to go there with her because I remember he was trying to center her as being like the sex part of the group. But she kind of like, she just really didn't have an attitude where she was like, you wasn't going to control me and how I was moving. Like, he couldn't stand Aubrey. So I believe everything she said also. But it also just make you just think about like everything from the 90s in his history. Because now I'm wondering what happened with Usher because Usher was living with him
Mm-hmm.
as a teenager, and they had him. A lot of people didn't like his first album because they thought it was too grown and sexy for his age.
It
So, and
was.
he also said that he seen some things, but he never said what it was. So I want to know what he know. And I also like I don't want to say nothing about the Kim Porter thing, but that makes me think about stuff. And then it makes me think about Biggie, like if Biggie was alive, what would have happened to him eventually?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's
Mhm.
just like it's like a lot of stuff that make you like rethink about like the whole history of Bad Boy.
Right.
Sound like it's like the mob or the mafia or something, right? All
Right.
this
Mhm.
stuff behind the scenes, starting from when he left Uptown to
Yeah.
now, the way he moved and handled that business, it absolutely does sound like that. It's a lot of
Mhm.
people that could turn state's evidence. I'm wondering if they're gonna fly Shine in. To be honest, they really should retry that case. He
Hmm.
owes. I just really truly
Mhm.
feel like they owe that man some type of restitution for him having to sit behind bars all those years and then getting deported. And
Mm.
something has always been very weird about this case because typically when people are deported from a country, they are not granted access back into said country, the host country. And he's been able to move in and out at his leisure. I don't know
Mhm.
if you guys remember when they honored him at the BET Awards and
Yeah.
Shine was part of that performance. If he was deported, why is it that he was able to come back in for that? That doesn't
Mhm.
happen when you get deported. Once they
Right.
kick you out, they never let you back in. They may have been building this case for him against him for years, long
Mhm.
before Cassie and her lawsuit. They may have clued Cassie in on what was going on, and she probably was ready to cash out before they
Mhm.
bankrupted him.
Right. Never
Yeah,
know.
I can't believe that, like, cause I don't believe the FBI would just make no blank arrest. They really have stuff stacked against him in order to like finally be like, okay, now we can go get him. Like they gave him enough rope to hang himself with, so to speak, before they actually got him. But I am proud of Kathy for speaking her truth no matter what people say. Like, why she just not doing this? She a gold digger. Oh, she just wanted some money. She waited this long, blah, 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 blah. She did this to Kim. But people not looking at like how young she was. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
remember like she was like about in her early 20s when the Me and You song came out, and then he started dating her. Like that was suspect even back then.
It was. And
Sure
then
was.
she really didn't put out no more music really after that.
Mm-mm.
I don't know, baby. When she did that 105 Park performance, he said you could just be a Sean John model.
Mm.
Sh- that really he made a Sean John model, and he shut her up. Like you just go model.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that was a horrible performance. I mean,
But she never
Listen,
I
could
thought.
sing now. I'm just gonna be
yeah,
honest with you. She never could sing. We gotta be
artist
honest
is
about
a
that.
reach. I want to get Ryan Leslie on the line. I ain't gonna lie. I want to get New Edition on the line. New Edition was signed to Bad Boy for one album, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to know what happened.
Yeah, they was signed the bad boy for all of 2 minutes and they left.
Hmm
I wanna know why.
I
Right.
would
Oh,
love
they
to
ain't
know
they
why.
ain't done. They got Mike Vivian. He probably looked at that contract and said,
They put out that one album and they had that one video,
Hot tonight.
Hot Tonight, and that was it.
Yep.
I do
I was
love that
going to the
song.
10th grade then when that happened. Brooklyn Queen, I want to hear from you because I keep hearing you say, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You must got you something you want to say, child. I need to hear what you got to say.
Hi, Scotty.
Hey, how you doing?
I am blessed. Seeing that when I saw that come up on my page that you was doing this, because I didn't hear about it till you came on. I'm just so happy because people always wonder why, females don't come out and say something right away. Nobody knows what it is to go through something like that and be judged and criticized by everybody else. So the fact that she came out, I don't care how much money she got, it ain't never gonna be enough from what she went through. That's number
At
one.
all.
Exactly. But for the feds to pick him up, won't he do it? I'm so happy. I hope this starts a whole new wave to let these men in power know that enough is enough. Like we are more than our body parts. We are more than what we could do for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy. This is my first time talking. I ain't never been on live. That's when I saw that. I said I'm going on there. But
Well,
no, I'm
as
I'm
you
I'm, I'm
should.
happy. I'm really really
As
happy.
you should,
Yes.
because I haven't done these in a long time. I only do it sporadically these days, and this is one of the sporadic one to do because I feel like okay, I want to hear what everybody got to say about this.
It's
And by the way,
necessary. It's necessary.
for you guys that's in the comments, if you want to come up and get your opinion, I'm constantly sharing a link for you guys in the chat right now. So I just want to know why is it, and this question is for all three of y'all that's up here. Why is it that with cases such as Diddy's or
Mhm.
cases such as R. Kelly's, because they're very similar cases,
Mhm.
why is it that when these type of cases come up for these particular people, the public seems to always kind of coddle them and always make the victims be the ones that's the villains in the situation? Like it just reminds me of R. Kelly, like literally all over again. Like it's just like when R. Kelly, when people was coming out saying stuff about him, when one person said it, but then again, R. Kelly had a whole video with
Mhm.
him in it, and they still didn't give a fuck.
We
Well,
put them on these high pedestals, like they
mm-hmm.
bet that they better, and we look up to them, and I don't know why, because they just people just like us, but we put them up there, and then as black men, it's an honor for our black men to achieve these things and become so powerful, but then when they do something wrong, we still have to look at them like, no, I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how powerful you are, that is wrong, that's
Mm-hmm.
abuse. And speaking from somebody that been abused, it's so hard to come out and tell your story because you relive it, and then and especially like Cassie talking about it, she got to relive it, and then everybody coming at her like, oh, you just wanted money, why you didn't been say it, you just did it because you wanted this, and whatever it is. No, sometimes we don't speak because we're embarrassed. We think we did something wrong. We caused it. So for so long, I never told my story. I picked up, I moved out of state. I moved from New York all the way to Arizona, and I just I refuse to be a victim. But I never told my story. My family to this day don't know why I left New York. I literally left my job, my house, my car. I took my 5-year-old son and I bought 2 one-way tickets and I got out of there because I was not going to be a victim. And when she finally came out, it kind of brought my story back. Like, I didn't cause that. That wasn't my fault that he did what he did, and I'm not a victim. So I hope it opens up for all women to be like, no, I didn't cause that. It wasn't my fault. And I don't care how powerful you are. You are a disgusting human being if you could do the things that Diddy did to her. And for everybody out there, I hope this is just a step in the right direction for all these men, white, black, whatever you are. You did something, you got to pay the piper.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Scotty,
also
you
like it's like we can't call out the black man. The black man been through so much, blah blah blah, and also
Mhm.
that,
They
you
love to
mm-hmm.
do
know,
it.
keep what happens in the house in house. Don't tell the pub, that type of thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
and also R. Kelly and Diddy, I guess in some way they tied their music, and like what they did for pop culture is so ingrained and tied into like good memories of people. They don't want to believe that this person did that. But like with R. Kelly, like, we was young back during like the Aaliyah time when she
Mm-hmm.
first came out. But like when you think about it, like in hindsight, it was weird. He was weird from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and no one called that out, which has always been strange to me. But it's another thing where black men just protect black men. Like they basically made, I don't, God rest her soul, but they made that little girl a pass around in
Mm.
the industry, and they protected him through all these years. And then I believe everyone in the industry already knew what R. Kelly was up to. They just didn't want to speak on it because they probably were doing the same thing. And then I don't understand, like the public, especially black women, it's like, oh, he didn't do that. Well, he gotta abuse himself. We gotta look at that. An abused child himself. Where's the parents? Where's this? Where's that? It's like black women act like they so afraid to hold black men accountable. Or my favorite one is where they gonna lock him up. Where Harvey Weinstein, or where blah blah blah, where the white man is.
Deflection.
Why y'all doing the black man like that? Like what Diddy? Oh, y'all getting Diddy. Get this one, get that one. But it's like, no, we ain't talking about that person. We talking about this guy. He did this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like R. Kelly was telling us in our face what he was doing. If
He
you go
definitely
back and
was.
listen to all his songs, he was telling us. He was telling on himself, But I just feel like that. I want to protect the black man. I got a great black man in my life. My son is a black man. My nephews are black men. So I want to protect the black man too. But do we have to protect them at the cost of the black woman? No,
Mm.
That's what it
no. Like,
seems
we could
like.
protect the ones that deserve to be protected, but you do something wrong. Like I said, I don't care what color you are. You ain't got no business doing the things as they doing. And the more they get away with it, think about our children. We got to protect our children. So if we put somebody like him away, then we ain't got to worry about our nieces and our daughters trying to make it in this industry. Because then these people gonna be afraid to do what R. Kelly did and what Diddy did and shoot Weinstein, all of them. Because it ain't just the music industry. I mean, we this is bigger than that. Trust me, all the big leaders, they done did some things, and that's why they protect each other. But slowly but surely, oh baby, we taking them down.
So, Scotty, that was actually a great question you asked. I think there's multiple layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
As Americans, we, as a capitalistic society, we worship money. The
Mm-hmm.
richer you are, the higher esteem that we hold you in. And we tend to not want to tear rich people down. We want to be like them. We want to be in close proximity to them, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to dismantle what we consider their empires. As Black people, as Black women, we are taught very early on, we are actually conditioned to prioritize the safety, the health, and well being of Black men, even at our own detriment. We're taught that
Mm-hmm.
very early as young as babies.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, calling things out, keeping it real, telling the truth about Black men, especially those in position of power, is seen as an act of betrayal to our entire race.
Mm.
We are
That's deep.
ostracized, we are blackballed, we are blacklisted, we are put out of the village, we are cast aside. Perfect example, Megan Thee Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Megan didn't even file charges against that man, and she is still being held accountable for him being in jail to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
people don't
still want to call her a liar.
and people don't even like even if you look at the comments on the neighborhood talk when someone says she's a liar and then so she the reason why he got arrested and then people will be like well she's not the one who filed charges, LA County filed the charges, so why y'all mad at her? You know what I mean? And plus he was gonna get arrested anyway for having a gun that he wasn't supposed to have.
It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. She is the reason why he's in that position. She should have taken those bullets and kept it moving and shut her mouth about it. And that is ultimately anytime as a woman you speak up against any Black man in a position of power, it is seen as an act of betrayal. You are an enemy, a traitor to your race. And you are, like I said earlier, you are cast aside. They came at Cassie like that. When people say they're afraid to speak up, and it's like, oh, well, that's just an excuse. And it's not, because you have to be prepared to be the
It's
black
not at
sheep.
all.
You have to be strong
Mm-hmm.
enough to be the black sheep. And not only that, but you have to be prepared to take hate from every angle. Aaliyah
Every.
went through that. Like now that Aaliyah's gone, we
Mm-hmm.
sit here and we have these like romanticized ideas about Aaliyah, and we try to, make it seem like, oh, we always believed her, even though she never came out and spoke on and advocated for herself. But, we always had this level of sympathy and reverence for Aaliyah. But in actuality, Aaliyah got blackballed. Aaliyah never
Yeah.
even came forward and said anything. Her groundbreaking album was One in a Million, and, working with Timbaland and Missy. But that collaboration didn't happen by choice. Nobody would touch her. No
Right.
producer in the industry would touch her. And here are these two unknowns who need to build up their resume. They're really talented, but they've never worked it with any big artists before. It really was a fair exchange. She needed somebody, and they needed somebody. It ended up being Magic, a great album, but that only
The
happened
best
because no
team
other
ever.
producer would touch her, especially not a man.
Mm-hmm.
She talks too much. She'll tell on us.
She talked too much but never said a word.
But it doesn't matter though. Just guilty because he's in trouble. We always supposed to prioritize the needs and wants of the man, and that's just what it is. And if you do anything other than what you are deemed to do, like you said, you're a traitor to your race. It's a very layered conversation, but at the end of the day, because these people are rich, again, it starts with the money. We've
Mm-hmm.
seen this. As much as he's done for the black community, just him being rich in their minds is him doing something for the black community. It doesn't matter when we break it down how much he's given, how much philanthropy he's done, how many communities he's impacted financially, how many people he's put through college, how many people who he's pulled out of poverty. We never even explore that. It's just the fact that he's rich. He's someone that other black people can look up to if
Mm-hmm.
they're in close proximity to him, despite the fact that most people who work for him end up broke and penniless.
You
Hmm.
ain't
Let's keep
lying.
it real about that. Because what has
Yeah.
he ever really done for black people that have worked for him?
Nothing.
Not
Everybody
nothing.
who is associated with him in the music industry has virtually no money. They die broke. They die with no health insurance. They die these horrible deaths. Where look
Mm-hmm.
what happened to Black Rob. It's as if these people were never famous. They had never made any money before in their life. He's the only one hoarding all the wealth of the money he makes. But because he's rich, we just automatically say he's done a lot for people. He has not.
He has not.
He
He's
may
done a
have
lot
made
for
you
himself.
famous, but it's all been temporary,
Mm-hmm.
and only he's benefited from that. We
Mm-hmm.
we always, just like I said, whenever people have money, we worship money in this country, and that's an issue too because his wealth does not equate to innocence.
Right.
That's
No.
true. Well, who's gonna be next now?
That is a great question. I personally feel like a lot of these hip hop moguls are not only on notice, but they're probably shaking in their boots for two reasons.
Baby,
One, they don't know if they're up next and who's getting ready to talk. And two, they don't know if he finna run his mouth about some of the antics his counterparts done did.
oh baby, he ain't gonna have
You
to
know
run his
who?
mouth
What
because them
name popped
recordings
in my
got a
head?
lot of people. Who that?
Irv got it. Irv
It
got
should
it.
be it should be more than that popping up in your
It's oh
head.
yeah,
It,
oh yeah. I got
and
Jay
he just
Z
like,
popping up in my head. Cause think about it. How young was Beyonce when Jay Z got with her?
oh, he got her real quick.
Hmm. Listen, but them videotapes, don't think that they going they watching them tapes, and it's a lot of high powerful people on them videotapes. We talking about all type of athletes, pastors, uh, listen, that's why I said this is the start of something, and I hate to see all these black men fall. I really do. But at the end of the day, I don't see color when it comes down to abuse and making these women jump through hoops, you know. And I always used to be like, I'm talented. Why didn't I make it? Why couldn't I make it? God was like, girl, you ain't finna do that. You ain't finna do that because they ain't finna put you through that. So I see this like I said, these are the first people to fall, but there's so many to come behind him. And I love Jay Z, I really do, but I really see him going down. He's next. I already know it. You see all
Him and
that stuff they
Dame.
said what happened to that girl that he
I
had got pregnant and she died. She ordered all of a sudden had what it was an aneurysm. Girl, this stuff about to come out the woodworks. Everything coming out.
I don't know if you guys remember that group, The Dream. No, not The
Mm-hmm.
Dream. Dream.
It's Dream. They had
The
a
Dream,
white, the
dream.
white
I
pop
forgot
Say
group.
the
he
I
love
forgot what
me.
song they
She
had.
love me
Yes,
not. That song, love me
Yeah,
not.
that's
that
the
was their
one.
song.
So I don't know if you guys ever heard their story about their rise and fall. And one of the members said that she was essayed by a member of the Backstreet Boys.
Oh.
And I've always wondered if he offered her up to that member of the Backstreet Boys. I mean, I don't want to say who name it is, but I'll say this: he had a famous brother that sang about candy.
Ooh, allegedly, allegedly.
That is what she said. Essayed her. It's a
I
video
believe
on
it.
YouTube of her talking about that experience. All I know is around that time when she said that happened, next thing you know, they were no longer on Bad Boy. But I've always wondered if he offered her up without permission.
Mm, I wouldn't be surprised.
But when you think about it, the '90s music, the industry in the '90s, it was just a weird time that people was not like calling no one out. Like for example, Wanye dating Brandy, 15-year-old Brandy.
Mm.
Brandy and another artist, I can't remember her name, got into it over him.
You
Wanye.
talk about Adina Howard.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, and they
okay.
end up shelving her like her whole project because of it. It's like no one pointed out the fact that this young girl was going with this grown man in his group.
Well, it's like
Mm.
if you
Like
think about it, they just ain't care.
that I'm
I feel like
saying.
they thought they had to do that to make it to the next level. I feel like a lot of women feel because it don't just happen in the music industry. It happens on Wall Street. You know, sometimes women are put in a position where they got the education, they got the skills, but it's a man at the top. And that man telling you, you ain't finna go no further unless you do what I need you to do. And some of us, and I'm not pointing
Predators.
no finger, but we feel like we have to do certain things to get to that level. And it's sad, you know, and you can't be mad at them. Some people choose to do it and some people choose not to do it. But now in this age where we got all this technology and people going, you could speak to a celebrity through DMs. So people are really coming out and telling their stories. And it's just because trust me, they was telling before, but they would just get blackballed. Oh, so you're not gonna come in here no more. We're not gonna do no work with you no more. So then other people was
Hmm.
afraid to speak. So now it's like we have a voice. And I feel like, women spoke up before Cassie, don't get me wrong, but it was like they went unnoticed and people talked about it a little bit and then it went away. But this, and then once that video came out, it's like the speculate people like, well, I don't know, maybe. Once that video came out, we was like, oh, that's true. That's, I mean, I believed it from the beginning because I don't put nothing past no man when it comes
I
down
don't
to
either.
women. I don't put nothing past a man. I done seen some things in my day, and I don't put nothing past a man. So when she first came out, I was like, get it, girl. You ain't lying. And I believe you. And I felt real bad for her when people was just, I mean, the comments, it was women. It wasn't even, I mean, the men were saying things, but it was the women that was just trashing her.
Well,
So,
remember what I said. We're conditioned very early on to protect
mhm.
black men at all costs.
Who?
They
I was
seen that video and said, dang, what did she do in that
To make him
hotel
so
room for
mad.
him to
That's
That
do
right.
is
that?
a
And I'm
fact.
just
Yep.
like,
That's the,
really?
I couldn't
And look,
stand that
this is
comment.
why
What
I
did she
came
do?
up
I didn't
here.
care what she did.
This is why I came up here because I got that same. When I tell you, I got that same exact question from my own goddamn father. What did you do for that man that hit you in the head with a hammer? What would you do?
Mm,
What did you do to that man for him to punch you? It ain't what I did. You supposed to be my daddy and protect me. My mama.
mhm.
When I told my mama and my auntie that happened. Oh, what's his address? We finna pull up.
Right.
My
And that's
mama
how
been
you're supposed to
right
handle it.
side. So when I saw what happened with Cassie, that wasn't my first question. My first question was, so when we gonna arrest this Negro?
Exactly.
When we gonna arrest him? And me and
Mhm.
my cousin got into it heavily over the fact when Cassie first came out with the lawsuit. Me and her got into it heavily talking about, well, why she just now saying something? What you mean why she just now saying something? Be happy she's saying something at the end
That's
of the
right.
day.
Hmm.
Because this could have this man could have went somewhere unscathed for the longest period. I mean, he has gone unscathed
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
longest period of time. But it would have never, like, if she would have never spoke up, do you actually think this Negro will be arrested? Hell to the no.
That
Absolutely
part.
not. Absolutely not.
Gabby, what you got?
First of all, hi Scotty.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Congratulations on your move. Hi everybody. Um, I want to say that I'm all the way in California, and Diddy has been a menace since the '90s. Okay, I was
Mm.
'80s born, '90s raised, and
Mm-hmm.
he's been a menace since whenever Bad Boy came out.
Sure has dancing in the background of the movie.
So, and then from my understanding, with the whole DV thing in the state of California, they are mandatory. The DA is mandatory to take over a DV situation, such as
Mm.
Meg.
Mm-hmm.
They're mandatory, so it don't matter if she wanted to press charges or not. They took it over
Right.
because, if I'm not mistaken, there was a couple of cases, and I've been a victim of DV my own self, so I had to take the class and all of that. So they made it mandatory because abused women, would then go back to the abusive spouses and end up unalived.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's mandatory in the state of California for the DA to take it over.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the Diddy thing. If y'all can remember when they were saying that he had gave everybody back their publishing rights.
Mm-hmm.
Lies.
Well, what happened was when he gave them back their publishing rights, it was 2 years before um it wasn't worth anything. So by then it wasn't worth nothing. So he gave it back to them. Then on top of that, he made them sign the NDA.
Hmm.
The person that I want to hear from is Aubrey. Because if you actually pay attention, she's been telling us all along that
Mm-hmm.
he's been a maniac since then, since she got
But
dropped from Danity Kane.
And
Mm-hmm.
she didn't sign no NDA neither, so she
No,
could
she
talk.
did not.
Yeah,
but
Aubrey
you
said
see,
that she
she was
even
telling
offered
her
her
story.
Aubrey
She
even
was
said that she offered her group mates money in exchange. Whatever he was offering them, she would give them whatever money they needed to not sign the NDAs.
Yeah. Hmm.
But
And then
she been
too,
telling her story for years, but people wanted to write her off as, oh, you bitter. She kooky, she crazy. He didn't do that. Blah blah blah. Like she's been trying to tell her story, but
Mm-hmm.
people been writing her off and then want to just talk about other things about her, saying
Well,
she's delusional.
I feel
well,
like
you say
people
when
wrote her off because of look who she dated. She was associated with the Trump dude, the son.
Well, you say
So
that
that's
we that she's been telling us her story, but for the people who watched and remember the show, we watched what happened. Like I said, in the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
what Making a Band 3 was the one with the girl group. Out
Yep.
of all the
hmm
girls, Aubrey was plucked from the group, and I don't know if you guys remember that she was
better
put on
yet, she
maximum
was the
one.
first one to go. She
She
was the first one to go.
she was put on maximum hot 100. So that's why it was always interesting to me. Like they sexualized her very early on. Out of
Yeah,
all the
he wanted
girls,
her to be her. He wanted her to be the sexy one of the group. Cause I remember an
well,
episode
yeah,
where they took her shopping, trying to change like her wardrobe to make her more sexy.
they
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
sexualized her, and then when he dismantled the group, he kicked her out the group because he said that her image was too sexy, and they were trying to market her to a teenage younger demographic. So it
Lie.
was like, well, wait a minute,
Okay.
you did go ahead, Scotty.
I'm not gonna say no.
Oh, I was gonna say, you did this and you sexualized her. Like I said, even before she actually made the band, they were still on the show competing when they picked her for Maxim Hot 100, which only happened because of her proximity to Diddy and Bad Boy. And they were giving her this. They were building this sexy image. Actually, the image of Danity Kane was built around Aubrey. Aubrey was the center of the group, not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
lead of the group, but just in terms of the imagery and the look of the group, it was
Yep.
built around Aubrey's image and the image that they wanted for her, only for him to kick her out because they said she looked too sexy, which never made sense. It always gave
But
me
let her
something
tell it.
happened and Aubrey wasn't compliant.
Yep.
Let her tell it, and I use air quotes. Let her tell it. He actually tried to come up on her. Like he tried to seduce her or
I
something
believe
in
it.
that matter happened, which is why when he did the cuts, she was the first one to go. And on top of that, she had a mouth. He couldn't control her like he could the other
Yep.
girls.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And and if you actually paid attention before he started doing his cuts, he knew who he wanted to keep and who he wanted to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because there was already tension within the group. And notice how Aubrey and Dawn always used to get into it over the dumbest things.
A lot of people didn't pay attention to Andrea either. Something about the way she was when that show first started to when he dismantled that group, it was like something dimmed in her. It was a light
Mm.
inside of her that dimmed. She was super talented. She could sing,
Mm-hmm.
she could dance. She had one of the stronger voices in the group. But like Aubrey, not Aubrey, Andrea would take the high, Dawn would take the low, and the other girls played in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Something dimmed in her. And when he kicked her out, she was just done with the industry.
It
Even
was the
when Danity
fact
Well,
Kane
it
got back together, separate from Bad Boy, she wanted nothing to do with it. She just, I feel like something happened to Andrea.
it was the
well,
fact
I
that he
believe.
dangled it was the fact that he dangled their career in their faces to say, ha ha, I got control over this, I got control over that, and I could snatch it away just like he did.
See, that's what I'm
I
talking.
believe he got tired of the girl group. Like it's like they like all chess pieces to him. He did the girl group thing. They was successful, and he was looking for his next project, which was Diddy Dirty. Was it Diddy Dirty Money? He
Mm-hmm.
hmm
decided to use Don instead of D Woods, who had the better voice to me. Don because he probably felt like Don was more easier to control. He wanted a
hmm
Yep.
certain look for his group. The two dark skinned girl, I mean, he made her cut her hair short and everything like Kalina. So he was
Well,
on to another project.
well,
That's
I'll
why
say
he was
this
so
when it comes
easily
to
dismissed
Dunn.
him.
And
I'll
then
say
on
this when it
top of
comes to
that,
Dunn. He bought Dunn. I don't know if
yeah,
people realize that
and
he
then
bought Dunn.
Yeah.
on top of that, Don could write, produce, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas D Woods probably could just write. She couldn't produce anything.
Well, like I said, he bought Dunn. He bought her.
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
lot of people don't remember. Well, no, not let me not say remember because this didn't actually happen on Making the Band. She did an interview a couple years ago saying that she was in this real janky contract with some people out of New Orleans when she first auditioned to join Making the Band 3 that second season. And they were not going to let her out that contract. And he did some negotiations and whatever. And they were asking for a lot of money to release her. I guess when they saw that Bad Boy was interested in her, it raised the stakes. So he paid a ridiculous amount of money to get her out that contract, which is why she felt
Hmm.
so endeared to him. That's why I said when we first started, I never thought she would turn on him. She felt so endeared to him for getting her out of that contract. But for a man like him, he bought you, he owns you. And D
Yeah.
Woods, when he kicked her out the group in that moment of anger, we all watched that play out on the show. And he tried to
Yep.
Yeah.
tell her, "No, you can come back. I just want to talk to you." She wouldn't come back because I think she could see the writing was on the wall and she got the
Yeah.
hell
She was
on.
already over it. She was already over it. She was
She
I
like,
got the
"Yeah,
would have
hell
you
been
on.
kicked
over
me
it
out.
too.
I'm not coming back." No.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been over it too, Negro. You got
But then too, if you actually paid attention to when they was doing their auditions, every time Aubrey would get up and sing or something, he would always say they couldn't sing.
Yeah, he
Uh-oh.
did.
Gotti,
He
is it
just
okay if I name drop?
Uh,
Is it okay if I name drop?
uh-oh.
Name drop who?
I know that's right.
Another YouTuber.
Allegedly.
Oh, long as I like them, you can.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember Dominique, but she did that interview with Oliver Twix, and
Mm-hmm.
she was saying how when she was on the show, they actually offered Bad Boy actually offered her a solo deal that she didn't make the group, but he offered her a solo deal because she was a really strong singer, and
Mm-hmm.
Andre Harrell came to her on the back end behind the scenes and was like, "Whatever you do, do not sign that contract." And she
Mm.
did that interview like earlier this year with him. And she was giving a little inside tea about some of her experiences of what was going on over there. Nothing major, like nothing abusive or anything like that. But the fact that Andre Harrell, who is this man's mentor, was
Mm.
like, "Don't sign that deal." That's very telling.
Oh
It
yeah.
is.
hmm
But
And then on top of that, the way that he did Lorianne was crazy too. Like
Well, he
he
put
he
hands on
talked
her.
to Lorianne like she had a tail between her legs.
Yeah,
Well, he put hands on
And
her.
that was crazy because
I was.
even as a teenager watching it, I was like, what in the heck? Like she just scheduled a freaking dance rehearsal.
But
I
he put
wait.
Something
hands
that
on her though.
you was stress for them.
We saw
He
him
threw a
talk to her
chair
like
at
that,
her.
but he actually put hands on her.
He has. Yeah.
They
I'm so
cut that
sure when
scene
the
from the
cameras was
show.
off, because if you paid attention, right when the argument would get heated, they would go straight to commercial, and then when they would come back, she would just be like, "Yeah, nah, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done." So it would be like,
I
so
never
what the heck
understood
happened
why she
between the
took that.
commercials?
I never understood why she took that. I never understood why she let him because she wasn't there for
The
the
money.
talent. She was there to help them. I didn't understand why. You can't pay me enough to embarrass me like that on TV. You're not finna do that to me. So I just never understood. I said he something going on between them two right there because for him to talk to her like that and she just get mad and come back the next day and continue to work. I just never understood that part.
well, y'all,
Huh.
I hate to end this.
We're gonna have to.
Do you?
Yes.
Yes,
Say yes.
I'm sleepy. I'm about to fall asleep up here.
I
Guys, please make sure
am.
if you haven't already, you hit that thumbs up on your way out. We appreciate you guys
Please
so much
do.
for joining us.
But y'all, this was a good conversation, though. It
Yes,
it
it was.
was.
I
I do
enjoyed it.
appreciate it, though. But yeah, y'all, I got to go. I'm tired.
That's
Well,
it.
Thank
good
you,
That's
night,
Scotty.
Scotty. Good
the
night,
episode
All
again.
y'all.
right, bye,
Good
Scotty.
night, you guys.
Bye, Scotty. And once again, congratulations. I'm so proud of you for moving. I knew you could do it. You know,
Thank
continue,
you.
continue to grow. And I'm gonna drop down now.
All right.
Love you, bro.
All right. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'm about to go. I'm about to lay down and because I'm tired. But this was a great conversation. If you have not subscribed to the platform, please go ahead and do so right now. I definitely will appreciate it, you guys. And I'm out of here. As you guys already know, I'm gonna leave you guys with Bando and Alonda. of course, don't sweat. Bye, y'all.
Don't shake your ass, booty acting up. Don't grab your drinks, baby, pass the Dutch. Damn, shorty bad, looking bad as fuck. Don't sweat it, ain't no competition, I said it. Don't exist to the beef, motherfucker, I did it. Pull up, knock your corns like Mario. Couldn't slip me do 100 miles of cardio. Damn. You niggas stay faking, you niggas stay hating, you niggas so basic. You felt the win, so don't test me, nigga. My team lethal weapon, Joe Pesci, nigga. They hate to see me win, so I cause them frustration. Hate to see my name, so I give them penetration. Bro, running this race on you fucking lanes. Spin the block, Debo, bitch, sucking chain, bang.
Nigga hot. Don't sweat. Don't stop. Don't sweat. Nigga hot. Don't sweat.